platforms. Bring everything up over here to try, and I tried adding the patterns and stuff to this live, but I don't really know how it all works or is supposed to work. And I think that I'm supposed to post, I have like a little poll that let's see. I have a little poll that I set up that has all the answers to all the questions everybody always asks, like yarn are you using, and you know, all that stuff, but I don't really know how to do it. I don't know what I'm doing. That's the truth. I don't know what I'm doing. Hello everybody in live land. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to do that. I need to be. Welcome everyone. I am live today in September. This is 6-day star blanket stash busting September. I am making star blankets with my discontinued Ogo stash. Just getting those guys cleared out. Hi Margie, good to see you. I'm just getting everything going. I started a 6-day star and I started a 6-day superstar, and I have enough yarn, excuse me, to also do a 6-day supernova. So I'm going to do the 6-day supernova with the leftovers from, I had several, maybe 4 or 5 different colorways of Ogos, and I deconstructed them all, and I purchased them because I had colors in mind for a certain project, and there was one color that was just part of an Ogo that like didn't match, so I had like, I was taking colors out of different ones and kind of combining them, and then so I got all those colors, and then I had a bunch of blues and greens, and so I put those, I'm doing the star with those, and then everything that didn't go with either of those ended up in a bucket, and that is going to be the supernova. Hopefully it looks nice. We'll see. So I have done 2 days of work. Actually, it's like a day and a half really on each one. And I decided to just only work on one thing at a time, one day. So I can switch back and forth, or I can, you know, I can do, I can do a day of work on one or the other, or I can just stick with one until it's done. But I'm not going to do a little bit of the star and a little bit of the superstar, because people, hi Amy, people like to see like, how much did you get done on day one, and how much did, because of the whole 6-day thing. The star blankets, you absolutely can do them in 6 days. The supernova, we'll see. There's a little more thinking involved and a little more pattern following, so that might slow you down a little bit, but really they can be done in 6 days. Especially with this ginormous chunky yarn that I'm doing, I feel like they're halfway done already, and it's only really been a day and a half of work on each one. So yeah, I split up one day and I did a little bit of one and a little bit of the other, so it doesn't feel like I really got 2 full days in. Excuse me. So I don't know, maybe I should do that again and then just call that day 2. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go with what you all want to see me work on tonight. Would you like to see me continue the superstar that I was working on yesterday, or would you like me to go back to the blue and green and gray star that I had going? I'll work on whatever one you all say to do, because I can't decide. Hi Tazzy, I'm doing great today. I hope you're well also. Do 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 do. Will she do the star or superstar tonight? I'm going to work on the star or the superstar. I don't know which one. I can't decide. Okay, my sister's one says super, so I'm going to do the super. Super, super, super. There you go, TikTok. All right. Let me get TikTok up top. And I'll be ready to go. Turn off the mirroring. Put this up here where everyone can see it. Guess I'm doing superstar again. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Pat. Okay, so this is, yesterday I was working on this side, and now I'm on round 6. So I am, hold on, do I still have my pattern up? Yes, I do. Oh no, that's the star. There's the superstar. Okay, round, this is going to be round 6, but I'm doing Ridgy Didge. So what I'm doing every time after round 5, going into round 6, I'm flipping the blanket. So this is the side that I was working on round 5, and now I'm flipping it, and I'm going to do my round 6 from this side. See, I have my ridge round from my last flip, and I'm going to work this just exactly the same as round 6 in the superstar pattern. Just I'm working some front post stitches in place of regular double crochet in order to create that ridge. It's very easy, and you don't have to flip it if you don't want to. You could work it all from the same side, and you could do back post instead of front post. I'm choosing to flip because I don't like doing back post. It hurts my wrist. So I wanted to do it front post every time. And also the lovely crocheters in the McKnitiverse who helped me develop this pattern, they said they thought that doing the ridge on every row 6 was too much. So they were doing it, they were alternating row 6s to do the ridge. And I thought, well, why not flip it? Then you could alternate and you could have it you could have it on every round, and then you would have a blanket that would have 2 sides that could be reversible. So that's what I'm doing. But there are lots of different ways to do this. And this is how I'm doing it. So if you are adding a new color on this round, you want to add it. Here's my skip 2, and you want to add it to the second one over from the skip 2. Let me flip my view. Okay, so see how we created a new dip here? And it does look like it's a little off center with the old dip, but it will honestly turn out fine. It'll be gorgeous. So this is my skip 2, and then I'm going to start on this one. Okay, if you're left-handed, it'll be this one. But I'm right-handed, so it's that one. I'm going to make a slip knot, even though it's not really needed. Okay, and then it says, so it's going to be 5 double crochet is what the pattern says, but I'm doing the Ridgy Didge, so it'll be 5 front post double crochet. This is the row of 5. It's very similar to this row down here. This was a setup round. Okay, it's pretty much the same. I could have said repeat setup round 5. And then 5 double crochet in the top of the stitch at the top of the peak. So I'm curious if anyone else has felt inspired to make a 6-day star, superstar, or supernova blanket with their stash and bust up their stash this month. Feels really hot in here tonight. I turned the temperature up in here a little. Just feeling a little too cool. Now I feel hot. Did everyone have a nice Monday? Pat's making 2 star blankets. Are you doing this regular star? I think you told me last night. Did you find one in your stash? You said you found one you had tucked away somewhere. Was that you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not seeing anyone come through from Facebook. Am I in the Facebook? Did I make it into the Facebook group? Oh yeah, there I am. I'm everywhere. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Front post going down 1, 2, 3. Thanks for following. 4, 5. See how it's just starting to make those points again? Same size as before. Just now we have twice as many. I love this blanket. This is my favorite of the 3. This is the one I usually will choose to make when I just sit down to make a blanket. Thank you so much. I'm really in love with it. I followed just because of that blanket. Well, thank you. Welcome. How's everyone's weather? It sure doesn't feel like September here on the Outer Banks. It's absolutely beautiful. It still feels like summer, except that everybody's gone home. Left me here all by myself with the beach, all to myself, which I love. It's like now I can go out there and enjoy it. Not that I didn't enjoy it all summer, but I kept myself really busy. I traveled a lot. I'm ready to kind of slow down some of my traveling. And here I am, I'm going to New York this weekend. I guess I could zoom in. It's so weird because what you see on your phone on TikTok, doesn't show you, whoops, doesn't look the same on the screen. Front post double crochet takes a little bit longer. When you're doing front post, you're working around the front. You're working around the post of the stitch from the front. If it were back post, you would work around the post of the stitch from the back. See how awkward that is? That's why I don't want to do it. Front post is easier. Yeah, I think I need to get something different to put my feet on under my desk. You know, posture is really important when you crochet for a long time. Just like an ergonomic hook is essential. And I don't know if you all saw, but I bought these foam things to rest my arms on because I was getting pain in my arms from resting on this table, so that's been helpful. But yeah, I was in here all day Saturday doing a seminar, an online seminar, and I did take breaks and get up out of my chair a few times. But I should have done I should not have stayed in my chair as much as I did. I was in my chair way too long. Wonder if I'll make it all the way. Oh, I'm more than halfway around with this ball of yarn, but I have a feeling it's two Ogo sections tied together. Okay, so this is one way that I tried to make this pattern so that you could easily remember what's, remember the pattern and follow along, is I tried to put a lot of repeated rows in it instead of having a lot of different rows. So this, on these rounds 5 and 6, the pattern says, on subsequent rounds 5 and 6, the number of double crochet on either side of the peak will increase by 3. The numbers in parentheses show the number of double crochets on each subsequent repeat of the pattern. So what that means is on this row, it says 5 double crochet, and then in parentheses, it has 8, 14, 8, 11, 14, etc. So that just means that when I complete round 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I come back to round 6 the next time, I'll have 8 here instead of 5. And then the next time I'll have 11. And then the next time it'll be 14. So it goes up by 3 every time. So to avoid having, and this is standard pattern writing, to avoid having to write the repeats of the rows, I just give you the new stitch count each time. This is not normally a color I would be attracted to. Like if I had seen this in like by itself and not with an Ogo skein, I would not have been like, oh yeah, give me that color. I mean, I do really like peachy tones, but this is not a color I would normally have picked, let alone put it with purple like this. It's so pretty though, isn't it? Freaking gorgeous. This is my day 2 marker. Passing my day 2 marker. Hi, Sharon. I don't know where that chunk of wallpaper went. Amy, are you still here? Are you crocheting tonight? Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. I'll be doing star blankets all September. I feel I'll be here all week. Yep, there's that knot. I told y'all it was coming. I'm just going to treat it like a new join. And then I'm going to take the two tails and I flip them up over my working yarn and I keep going. And then I'll weave them in. I usually say I'll weave them in at the end, but I'm going to weave them in at the end of the round because the excessive ends have been kind of bothering me. Hello, H. Corbin Creative. Hello, gorgeous, they said. Well, hello. I know you're talking about the blanket and not me. Wink, wink. Now the crochet dude is here. What's up, crochet dude? You're very sweet. Thank you. Aw, shucks. I feel cute tonight. I'll say that. My hair looks good. Last night I washed it and let it dry, so I was on here with wet hair. I was watching the replay back and I was like, come on, Betty, what are you thinking? And then today I was like, oh, my hair looks good tonight. Nobody will recognize me. Oh, aren't you sweet? Oh, I think it's very kind of you to say. Thank you. It's really nice to hear. Appreciate that. I love TikTok. Everyone's so nice over here. And then I go over to YouTube and people are like, you're terrible at this. Your tutorials are awful. I delete about, I don't know, about a quarter of all comments that come in because they're not kind. Oh, that's very sweet. If hate can be for no reason, I can love for no reason. Well, thank you. That's really sweet. I follow this one creator and they're always saying, you are infinitely loved. Like by the, you know, the universe. And it's like, wow, that's so comforting to hear. Yep, I knew what you meant. Well, I don't know why it's so hard to feel sometimes, you know, we block ourselves from allowing ourselves to feel loved. I think it's just our nature to be like really self-punishing, especially if we, you know, we had it rough growing up, you know. but I, sometimes get like, sometimes it gets to be a lot, like, the negative comments or just being out there so publicly on social media, with people, keyboard warriors and haters. And 99% of what I've experienced has been so positive. But, it's just that fraction of, with how they say a bad apple can ruin everything. And it's very true. It's like the negativity is so contagious, and it really gets to me. But I was having one of those moments, and one of the ladies in my membership group was like, just remember, everybody loves you. And I was like, wow, what? Wow, everybody loves me. Like, I know not everybody loves me, but I was like, I'm just going with it. Like, it was such a moment, for me to realize, like, I have a lot of people supporting me in this world that, just out there in internet land. And that's, it's really gotten me through some difficult times when I felt really alone. Well, thank you very much. It's very nice to show up here tonight and have someone be so complimentary and kind and loving. It's very sweet. Thank you. That's for sure. Yeah, she really made me see that when she said, it was like, why am I crying over this one person who obviously, and you can tell when people make these hateful comments that they're just not happy people, like they're not, it's not a good faith question they're asking you. They just want to criticize. And, that's a reflection of them, not me. I don't usually weave my ends as I go. Hurt people hurt people. It's right. Look at that. Look at that. Look at it. It's gorgeous. I'm in love with this. Now it's for my friend's Airbnb. I'm afraid it's going to get stolen. It's so nice. But she ends up not even putting it in there for that exact reason. 2 reasons. Because it's nice and it could get stolen. And she will want it for herself. That's it. I'm getting rid of these. Come on. I've got other scissors in here. I have these beautiful swan scissors. I think it's about time I go get my nails done again. I let them grow all the way out. I gave them a big rest. Yeah, it does look like flowers, doesn't it? So you think of a center of a flower garden with a super intricate fountain. That's cool. I want to make this pattern in Christmas colors. Got to finish 3 other projects first. Nah, you can go ahead and start another one. It's okay. Enable, enable, enable. I'm here to enable you. This pattern has been adapted into a tree skirt. So if you would like to make a 6-day holiday tree skirt, you can. Thanks for the heart. Oh, now I can just snip and I don't have to do that sawing motion. Yeah, they're really pretty actually. I took mine out to my storage, but I have one here that's still of course I remade them all for a live last year. And so I have one that I never finished, the very last. I just demonstrated the edge row on a live, but I never finished it. It's been sitting here ever since. I need to finish that just so I don't feel like... Oh, thank you, my dear. Good night. You have some good rest. I'm sending you love and compassion. I'll do one more so I don't have a ton of ends hanging out everywhere. I'm on your FYP, yeah! I don't know how I did that. But I love it. I love your pattern. Oh, thank you. I love you. It's an addictive little pattern, isn't it? Okay, what comes after peach? Light purple. Okay, so let me flip this back over because this is the side I'm working on, and then it'll be round 7, which is a single crochet round. And I have a little, it's not a secret because I say it all the time, but if you are changing colors on every round on the 6-day blanket, it doesn't matter where you start as long as you put all the stitches where they belong. I'm making the 6-day superstar blanket. Okay, so we're single crocheting all the way around, and on this round, we this is what's hard about the star blankets, is on this round in the peak, there's a different number of stitches every time. So for the star blanket, it's 4. For the setup rounds of this one, it's 3, and now it switches to 2. So in the in the center peak, this is round 7, it's 2 single crochet. Who is it for? It's for my friend, a friend of mine who has a beach house here on the Outer Banks, and she gave me her piece of her wallpaper to make a matching blanket for the back of her couch, and it's been like 2 years. This is day 3. It's really more like 2.5, because on the first day I worked on another 6-day blanket for a little while, and then I switched to this one, so 2.5. One, 2 in the peak. Have you made at the things besides a blanket? What do you mean? Aaron Bishop says, have I made anything else besides a blanket? Yes. Check out my website, BettyMcKnit.com. Are you new to crochet? Are you just doing new stuff? Are you this is a, very beginner friendly pattern. So you don't need to be advanced to know this one. My favorite thing to make is the 6-day kid blanket. 6-day star blanket, 6-day whatever. But honestly, I just really love yarn. I love doing stuff with yarn. I love crocheting. This one is the 6-day superstar blanket, this specific one. But there's a 6-day blanket. There's a 6-day star blanket. There's a 6-day granny square. Hi, Hessa. Sorry about that weird message I sent you. I just clicked the question mark by accident. How have you been? Oh, Aaron asked what kind of yarn this is. This is Caron Ogo Colorama. It's a discontinued yarn. And I deconstructed all the Ogos to put these colors together. These were on different they didn't all come together as one. I put them together over, I don't know, I bet I had 30, 40, 50 Ogos. I don't know how many I had, but I bought a lot of them because this sage green was just one little section in these blue-green Ogos, and I wanted to use more of it in my blanket. So I ended up buying a whole bunch of those blue Ogos. What size hook are you using, and what weight is the yarn? It's there's a poll on this live, and I don't know how to post it, but it answers all these questions. But this is a 9mm hook, and this is a 5-weight yarn. You can find any 4 or 5 weight acrylic yarn. You can actually make this blanket with any kind of yarn. Any yarn. It is very adaptable. You just start in the middle and you keep going until it's as big as you want. You can change colors on every round, or you can not change colors at all, or you can use a cake yarn and let the yarn decide how the stripes look. What is an Ogo? An Ogo is the yarn company Yarnspirations. They, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago came up with this idea to make a different, you know, yarn can be put up in a cake, in a hank, in a skein, in these different configurations, and they made this new configuration, and it was like kind of like a long tubular shape and then wrapped around together in the shape of an O, and they were calling them Ogo. And they lasted a couple of years and then they discontinued them. So I had a ton of them, and thank you, Hess. I appreciate you. They decided to do it, and they put up different types of yarn on them too. And I haven't seen this yarn, this Colorama yarn, in any other, any other configuration. They had this Colorama Halo yarn that now they're just giving that to us in a regular cake instead of the Ogo shape. So I've seen that, but this Colorama, this 5 weight with these colors, I mean, it's a decent yarn, but you could get any kind of yarn. You could do like the Big Twist. I like Joann's Big Twist because you can just kind of go into Joann's and it's like having the whole color palette there of, solid color, worsted weight acrylic yarn, perfect for blankets. I like Lion Brand a lot also. But I think mostly you have to order Lion Brand online. I'm actually not really sure, but I love their Vanna's Choice line. For a long time, that was the only thing I made blankets out of. It was like my go-to. And then I just wanted to try some different things. I was working at Michael's when Caron Cakes came out. And so I just wanted to try some different things with the Caron Cakes yarns, and then my pattern went viral, and it's like, oh my goodness, I did it again. I only put 4 in the top here, so I'm going to do 3 single crochet instead of 2, but that is me fudging and correcting a mistake. Usually this pattern will work out. If it doesn't work out, you're new to it and the numbers aren't working out, don't just fudge and correct your numbers. Figure out what you did wrong, because it really should work out. Now I can look at this and see, oh, I did 4 instead of 5. So obviously I'm 1 stitch short, so I'm just adding a stitch. I don't think anyone will ever notice, but if you don't know, if you're not able to look at your work and understand why your counts are off, then you should, go back to the pattern or reach out to me for some help so that I can help you figure it out, because it should work. You shouldn't have to make any adjustments. And people make adjustments, like my mom tried to make this blanket and didn't come out right, and she just kept making adjustments, and then she got really frustrated. She threw it away. And I was like, no, it should work out. But a lot of the time, overthinking is an issue. Like, my mom's been crocheting a long time. People who crochet a really long time, sometimes they're like, oh, this shouldn't be like that. This should really be like that. Like putting 2 single crochet in the peak of something. That doesn't make any sense, So somebody might read that and be like, oh, she must have meant 3. And, you know, you can easily get yourself messed up by overthinking things. But the pattern should work out. These have been made a bunch of times and redone and remade in lots of different ways. So they definitely work. Thank you for the shells, Hessa. Appreciate it. I don't know. Did I hit my goal? I can't tell. I think I said if I hit my goal, I was going to stand up and stretch, which I might just go ahead and do anyways, the end of this. This is a little bit of yarn chickeny right now because I have this far to go. And I have this much of this purple yarn. And it's going to really stink if I have to get a whole other start, you know, just... I am foreseeing what's going to happen. I'm going to be down to about 2 or 3 stitches. And I'm going to have to do a whole new skein. Or ball or cake or whatever. Oops. Excuse me. I'm yawning. Don't ask me why, because I sure slept enough today. I took a big nap. What did I say, people? What did I say? I said I'm going to have about 2 or 3 stitches left and need to get a whole new skein. It's not going to be enough for 3 stitches, I don't think. 1, 2, no way, no way, no way. It's not enough. It'll come out. What a pain in the butt. Yeah, one thing I have to say about this yarn, and I know for a fact I did not match dye lots because I was just buying it up on clearance. And I was like, oh, I just need that one color. It doesn't really matter. I don't really care. Blah, blah, blah. But the colors are not consistent. Like, look at that. You can see, even with this, that is from one Ogo and that's from a different Ogo, and they're clearly different colors. Hopefully it won't be that obvious. Now I have all these ends right here. Gosh darn it. Oops. It's always a risk tying in ends before the project is done, because what if I have to take that out? It's never coming out. Now I got these two little poops to weave in. Thanks for following. I know it's like not very exciting to watch me weave in ends, but all the ends hanging off of this project were anxiety inducing, for not just for me, but for many others who were coming on the live. Like, ew, the ends, the ends. The ends would drive me crazy. Or they just looked like spaghetti. I had so many of them. So I've been weaving them in at the end of each round. It's the price I have to pay for doing this on the internet. I've already gone down this way. This is why I turn, like, rotate my work and join new colors in a new area, because I've got all these ends right here with this guy, this little yarn chicken moment that I had, and there's nowhere to weave it in. You can only weave so many ends into the same, area of your work without it becoming like really obnoxious and not secure either. Like the ends will not be secure. So I just ran this end down the top of these stitches over here, where I've got a bunch of single crochets in a row. I could just put that under. So I think it'll be okay. But I do like to be able to go back and forth. All right. Next is the green. Yay, I love green. This green, having this green in here was the reason all these Ogos ended up in my possession. Let's just keep going around. Let's find another area. Okay, so this is round 2 and it starts right in the middle of the dip. And like I said, if you're doing this, if you're changing colors on every row, you can start anywhere as long as you put all the stitches in the right places where they belong. So I'm going to start here in the center of the dip, double crochet 3 together. Okay, now this is how this blanket is different from the star. You have to skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got to skip all the way over to there. This is the reason why you need such a big hook. Okay, and then it says skip 2, 3 double crochet in the next stitch, repeat to the top of the mountain, 3, 3, 3 in the second of single crochet. Okay, so that confuses people because I'm telling you to repeat something, but on the first time you do it, there's nothing to repeat. You're already there. So I just did it because I didn't want to have to write a whole other repeat. Sometimes I lie awake at night trying to think if there was a better way I could say it. Thank you. Thanks for following. Thanks for sharing and liking and doing all the things. Ooh, I love this green. I love green and purple together. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to skip over that whole, you have to jump a whole mile down. It looks like it's not going to work, but it'll be fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. It seems like a lot to skip, but it really works out fine. And then 3, 3, 3 in the peak. See? It looks fine. Skip 2, 3 double crochet. Skip 4, double crochet 3 together in the bottom of the dip or the valley. I call it mountains and valleys in the pattern. Okay, so you have to skip over 4. and then 3, 3, 3. Okay, and then skip 4, jump all the way down, double crochet 3 together in the bottom of the valley, very center stitch. And then skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 double crochet in the next. Three, 3, 3 in the peak. This blanket's getting really big already. I mean, usually I make them about 60 to 80 inches across, depending. I think she's going to put this one on her sofa, so I think 60 to 70 inches should be plenty big enough. 80 is probably too big for a sofa. I just did an 80 something inch one for my daughter for her bed. So I wasn't sure how I would like the colors if I just kept them in the same order, but now that I have this row of green as double crochet, as the granny rows, I'm feeling pretty good. I feel good. I like it. Excuse me. Okay, this isn't really a tutorial video because I have tutorials of this already on my page, but I'll just say this is the pattern for this row. Is a double crochet 3 together in the very center of the dip, and then there's a skip 4, 3 double crochet, skip 2, 3, 3, 3 in the top, skip 2, 3 double crochet, skip 4, double crochet 3 together. That repeats around. So on each side of the double crochet 3 together, there's 4, a space of 4 here, and then a space of 2. Just give that a little second to sink in. Okay, so now I'm going to skip 2, 3 double crochet, Now the pattern says if your work is curling, go up a hook size, but this far away from the center, we shouldn't need to go up any hook sizes. This row really pulls the work in, and then the double crochet rows kind of splay it out. So there will be like a little bit of variability in tension between the different types of rows, but it should work out and it should lay flat for you without having to keep like going up and up and up a hook size. It's a 9mm hook, and this is a 5-weight yarn. I'm using an 8 on the star blanket with the same yarn. The Superstar requires a much bigger hook. The star blanket requires a bigger hook than what you would normally use, but the Superstar requires a much bigger hook. And I think it's because of this row right here and this big jump over 4 stitches. There's where I wove in that end, all those ends. I mean, the hook just feels ginormous to me. I mean, like, if you see this amount of curling, that for me to go up a hook size right now would be overcorrecting that. So sometimes that happens. There are people in the group that will overcorrect, or their blanket will be actually ruffling, not curling, but ruffling, which is actually usually caused by too many stitches. And that happens when people make a mistake and they, usually down here, where it says 2 double crochet and then they try to put 2 double crochet in the same stitch. Thank you. A friend of mine gave me a bunch of yarn that I think is 5-weight, and I think I'll try using it on this. Sounds good. I mean, you can actually use any weight for this blanket. I've done it in 3, 4, 5. All this star blanket, the 6-day star blanket, the 6-day kid blanket, the 6-day Superstar, all of my patterns, not all of them, but most of them are very adaptable to multiple weights of yarn. And in a lot of the patterns, I give instructions how to resize it and how to adapt it and customize it. Hi, thanks for following. TikTok, you're so quiet tonight. Actually, everywhere's quiet tonight, seems like. Everyone must be tired. School's starting back up and everything, am I right? Hi, El Rose. I'm doing great. I'm in love with this. I seriously don't think I want to give it away. I had to make myself 1, 2, 3, 4. Although I did just make myself a beach house blanket out of Noro. 6 balls of Noro that Knitting Fever gave me. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Best blanket I've ever made. Hey, Amanda. Thank you. Isn't it though? It reminds me of that one we did for Megan Sims. Do you remember her? We put all the flowers all over it. Got another end here. You must not have been in the group when that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, these ends. I'm almost there. Once again, will I make it all the way around? I don't know. I'm starting to not like Stash Bust September very much anymore. Not only that, but there is not that much of this green left. So, how is that possible? There's like so much ding dong purple. There's not that much of the light purple left either. Oh, wait, you know what? I can still take apart the other blanket. And I have 6 more Ogos on my back wall. So what am I worried about? But I do think there's not that much of the green. This might be it. I'm nearly finished my second Half Moon Goddess, just the last run to go. Wow. Yeah, I have the extra big one that I made, and I'm on my last row of shells. I think I have about 4 more rows to go, but I'm on the last like row of shells that you add before you start doing like the edge, like that last edge. I think it's called the border and in the pattern. Thanks for following. 2, 3, 4. I worked on that all day on Saturday while I was sitting on my Zoom call. And I have to say, it really did help me focus. People say knitting or crocheting in a meeting helps them to focus, and it really did. Just the Pico row. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. It's the 6-day Superstar blanket. Unruly Mob Queen says, do you use the same hook throughout the blanket? So I started with a much smaller hook in the beginning because I wanted to add a row of single crochet just to have a stripe there. But for this blanket, I tell people to start with a hook a half a millimeter or even a full millimeter larger than the hook recommended hook. A half to a full millimeter larger than what's recommended on the yarn label, and then have 2 additional hooks, a half and a full millimeter larger. If you experience any curling in these first few rows where it's like really cupping and turning into a bowl, then you will need to increase your hook size. Out here, I mean, you can see how I'm experiencing a little bit of curling out here. I don't need to change my hook anymore. It's just on this setup area that you may need to adjust your hook. Thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciate it. I think I'm going to make it. This is all I have left in this. I mean, this is all I have left. In the stash. So I think I'm only going to, is there any more? That's it. So I think I'm only going to keep this and also the light purple. There's about the same amount left of, actually, there's more light purple. I'm not going to make any decisions because I can unravel the whole other blanket still. I keep forgetting about that. You've got crochet block you've been avoiding, so you're on here to watch and get some inspiration. Well, what have you made a 6-day star blanket yet? If you haven't done a star blanket yet, then I suggest doing that one. This one's the Superstar. The star blanket's easier, but this is my favorite. There's the star, the Superstar, and the Supernova. And the Superstar is my favorite of the 3. The star has 7 large points. The Superstar has 14 small points. And the Supernova has 7 large and 7 small points. The Supernova is the most difficult of the 3. The star is the easiest. The star and the Superstar are very repetitive. The Supernova, you have to look at the pattern more. There's a bunch of different rows. So you kind of have to, you have to pay attention a little bit more. But they're all really addictive to make. I'm doing the Ridgy Didge on this one, which is I made it. I totally made it with yarn left over. And you really can use any yarn with it. That's why doing it as a stash buster is a really great option, fun option to do. You can use your scraps. Oh, thank you so much for the shells. I think I made my goal, so I got to get up and stretch. I'm going to finish weaving this one in, and then I'm going to get up. It's good because I need to get up out of my chair anyways. My legs are really hurting me. I love the Superstar I made for my daughter. Probably one of my favorite things I've made. Yeah, they're fun. Stash Bus September. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. About 6 things cracked when I got up. Oh. Man, that is a gorgeous blanket. Put a little of this on my hands. This is something called a face blaster. It's for your fascia, which is the membrane. Hi, Riley. It's like the membrane in between your muscles and covers your bones. And this, see where it's getting really red? I'm feeling a lot of tightness, so it's supposed to be breaking up fascial adhesions. But I don't use it too hard because it can cause bruising. So, but it is really good for your blood flow and hand care. Okay, my overhead camera died. Okay, thanks for that break, friend. It was really nice of you. Thank you so much. All right, let's, I don't feel like weaving in another end. All right, let's get back to, looks kind of floral. Okay, round 3. Next in the sequence after green is this rose. Yes, there is a particular color scheme that I'm going for, and it matches she gave me a piece of her wallpaper to match up. So there's the purple and this like creamy pinky white. And then there's the rose. The only thing I don't have any of is this kind of aqua. But it's okay when you match something, you don't have to match it exactly. You don't have to match every single color. And even some, like this purple, is subtle in the wallpaper, but it's really coming out here. As is this like really pinkish tone is like in here. It's really hard to see on YouTube. For whatever reason, that DSLR doesn't show the colors as well as my iPhone does, which is what I'm on TikTok with. But it's like, it's in here. And then the white. Yeah, it doesn't have to match exactly. It can contrast. And then the green, you know, that's really subtle also. This red would probably be the thing that is, well, here's the rose with the red, with the, you know, the most red on it. And then you have to remember that this is all over her wall. It covers the whole wall. So those little pops of color that come out, will look really nice with the wall. And she loves purple. So this might be like over purpled, but I know she loves purple, so she'll love it. She's probably not going to leave it in the beach house. She's probably going to take it home. Because it's so nice. Okay, I'm on round 3. So it starts right here. But you know, once again, if you're changing colors on every round, you can start anywhere as long as you put all the stitches in the right place. But I'm going to be good and do it like how the pattern says to do it. Yeah, when I did this blanket before on, you can see it on my, if you go back through my videos, that I started this like a year, even might have even been more than a year ago. Might be closer to 2 years. But you can see where I started it before, and I started the center has more bigger block of color, and I also had like some maroon and wine tones in there that I ended up deciding I didn't really like how they meshed with the rest of the colors. So this is like a complete redo from the beginning. I just didn't, the center had like a big bullseye look to it, and I just didn't like it. So This is a do-over. Okay, so on this round, you have double crochet 3 together, 1 on each side of the crochet 3 together in row 2, and then 3 double crochet in the other spaces, and then 3 3 3 in the peaks in the chain 3 spaces. I cranked my AC a little bit while I was up because I'm just feeling really warm. It takes longer and longer to do a whole round the further you get on this blanket. Has anyone seen or purchased any new yarn that they're excited about? I saw that the anniversary cakes were back, and I don't feel excited about the colors that they have, and I still have 2 anniversary cakes from last year that I have yet to work up. You're going on a yarn crawl this weekend? I didn't like the colors. There was just the one color, I think it's called birch, that I would have, maybe bought some of if I was going to buy some. But I just didn't, I don't feel inspired by it. Basically going to a bunch of niche yarn stores in the KC metro area. KC, Kansas City? I have a knot. I feel really spoiled because I did 3 projects for Noro recently, and that yarn is absolutely spectacular. And the blanket that I made, the Noro blanket that I made, is just my favorite thing that I've ever made in my life. So now I'm just like, I look at other yarns and I'm like, eh. I have a lot of like old Caron cakes stashed and stuff too. A lot of the tea cakes. I bought a whole bunch of them. I mean, I like bought out my stores, 3 Michaels in the Norfolk, Virginia Beach area last, 2 years ago when they released the tea cakes again, and I was going to resell them as kits for my 6-day chunky throw, and I couldn't part with any of them. I never sold any. I don't know, maybe the blanket is laying flat. I mean, I'm not going to stop working right now. My grandnephew is almost due a new blanket. I might make him a superstar. They look really nice on beds. I made my daughter a big fuzzy star not too long ago. I still haven't given it to her. It was for her birthday. And I tried to finish it in like 2 days. And I didn't make it. It didn't happen. So I ended up putting it in like a gift bag. And I gave it to her in a gift bag, but it wasn't done. She pulled it out and she laughed so hard. Maven, sometimes I think when people are doing that, they're trying to copy the pattern. I mean, if you follow me at all, you'd know I stop at the end of every row and round. I stop and lay it down, and I teach people, when I teach crochet, I teach people to lay it down and look it over at the end of every round, every row. Thanks for following. Hey Rachel, I'm doing the 6-day superstar blanket. I have a poll set up on this live, but I can't for the life of me figure out how to post it. But if you see the link for the poll, you can click on it and it's got a bunch of questions and answers. It's not really a poll. I copied that from Howie. Do you guys know about Howie the crab? This blanket's getting big. Ooh, what is this? Oh, this is where I said I'm not going to weave in my ends right now. Oh, you were on before when I was talking about it. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, it's like a crab on here that the lady has owned it for a while has kept it as a pet, and it's getting older and they don't know how old it really can actually get, because as they get older they molt, and molting is more and more difficult for them, and they stop eating for like a month before they molt. And she just molted again. But I swear this lady is like an animal whisperer. She has like squirrels that come up to her in her yard and she feeds them, and just like wild animals out in the yard. She just feeds them. A possum. I think she has a possum that she feeds and picks up and holds and pets it. She puts the crab on a leash and takes it for walks. It wears little crocheted hats and things. It high fives with her. She taught it how to high five and how to sign eat. And then it has this little thing that it does with its mandibles, so she calls it happy mouth. And when it's eating and it's really happy, it like flicks these little mandibles up in the air. I know. It's so stressful, like because the owner is clearly like really worried that Howie is not going to be able to molt, and you can just feel how stressed out she is about it whenever it happens. And I'm like, no, don't send that energy. There's like thousands of people watching. Like, send the energy of like come on, you can do it. You know, I don't know. I follow that Shirley, the animal communicator, and she's like, she said the animals are aware that they have these TikTok people. Because they're really sensitive to energy. So they feel the energy of like all these people that are watching them. Yeah, I know, right? You're a medium and a psychic. Wow. I'm not a medium, but I've done a lot of training in energy work. I'm right now I'm in Christy Whitman's Quantum Success Coaching Academy so that I can do energy coaching, and I'm enjoying that. I'm a Reiki master. I mean, I don't really need any more training, but I really enjoy Christy's work. She has these meditations that we do that are like little mini energy healings. They're really wonderful. They've been so good for me. Quantum Energy Mastery is her other program that I've taken, and it's wonderful. Helps me manage my own energy because you're always like, it's ever present. You know, you're always like transmitting and receiving, you know. It's always coming and going. Yeah, that Shirley, the animal communicator, talks about energy with the animals a lot. And I know my dogs were super sensitive to energy. I was saying the other night about my dog Mudkip that he would, you know, if I started tearing up or getting emotional, like he would be in my lap before the tear even came out of my eye. You know, it was almost like before I even knew I was, you know, feeling upset, he would be there always. All three of the dogs would come, but Mudkip was always first. He was always like, uh-oh. He'd come running over and jump up on me. And the other two would like come and look and see what was going on. But Mudkip would always come and jump up on me. Whatever energy you put into the world is bound to come back to you. At least that's my thought. I also believe that animals know everything. I don't know how dumb they act, but they know. Well, they are responding to energy. How is the turtle's nest you are helping to mind? Oh, thank you for asking. I am we are still on just like daily nest checks. So we go in the morning to see if anything happened at night. But they have some kind of devices down in the nest so that they can hear and they can measure temperature. And we don't know what's wrong with ours. We think maybe the storm took it out, but we can't get our devices to connect to it. So we don't know what the temperature and activity, what the sounds are in the nest. So we just don't know. So they're just making, you know, they can tell like by the temperature when they think it's going to boil, they call it, the nest when it hatches. it boils or it trickles. I don't know, but anyways, they're they're gonna hatch, and they think they have an estimate. So when we get to like within 3 or 4 days of the window of when they think they could emerge, then we go down there and we watch the nest at night from like sunset until, I don't know, like everybody gets tired and goes home. Mostly we're just going to watch the nest to make sure no people bother it. And just wait for them to come out. And then if they never come out, we just have to assume that the storm got them, because the nest was underwater during the storm. So we just don't know what's going on down there. If it goes past a certain date, then they're just going to excavate and just take it out and see if there's anything still alive in there. But right now we're just waiting, and we're doing our daily nest checks. We take turns, so I only go once a week. I have my assigned day, and then I just heard from my nest coordinator. She texted me today and asked if I could take another day this week to fill in for somebody who isn't able to do their nest check. So I get to go twice and check on the nest. The last time I checked it, there were a couple of crab holes on the nest, and that's it. We don't really know what's going on. We don't have the data from the sensors that are supposed to be in there. I mean, supposed to be. They're in there. We just can't connect our devices to them. So we're not sure what happened. Thank you, Kat. I mean, in this program that I'm doing, this quantum success coaching, they do talk about animals from time to time, and they say that the animals their consciousness does not have the resistance that we have. So they have a closer, better connection to the source consciousness, and they don't have the resistance. So like what we think is their animal instinct is actually like they are better connected to, energy and oneness, all that is, whatever terms you have for that, but it's basically like the universal source energy that everything is connected to. Kind of makes sense to me. But I don't want to go too far down the road of beliefs here while I'm crocheting on TikTok Live, YouTube, or whatever. Do know I've really been missing my dogs lately. Just really feeling their absence. Not sure why all of a sudden. It's been like 3 years, I think, since my dog Mudkip died in 2020. It was like October of 2020. It's been almost 3 years. And then the other two were like, I don't know, a year or so before that. But I'm feeling like it's getting close to time for me to get have another animal partnership in my life. I'd love to have a cat and a dog. That's what I want. One cat, one dog. $10.48. I think I can do one more round and then I'll be good. And the next round is this white. So that'll be a good, hopefully the nest is okay and I get to see some babies emerge. I know. I have been waiting so long for this. This is a single crochet round. So I'm just going to fly through it. And this is going to be my last round for day 3. I didn't quite get a whole repeat in today. I started down here, so I only did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds. You know, I guess I could do one more. Yeah, I hope so. Some of the nests they've already called it, you know, the turtles are, they lost the nest or it was washed away. But ours is still up above it's above the tide line right now, but we might get some activity from the hurricane, what's it called? Lee, that's out in the Atlantic right now. We might feel some of that. So they're a little bit worried about that. But, you know, it's just a wait and see. Yeah, I think I'm ready. I really gave myself a lot of time. Now, the divorce, that's another story. Am I ready to have another man in my life? I don't know if I'll ever be ready for that. Dog, yes. Man, I don't know. I don't think so. I like the way my life is too much now, just doing whatever I want and cooking or not cooking, eating or not eating, sleeping whenever, just doing whatever I feel like, not taking showers if I don't want to, going wherever I want. Oh, nobody telling me what I can and can't do. Life is good. Animals are more fun than men. If I found the right man, somebody really kind and open-hearted and open-minded and accepting and patient, because I think I'm a lot to put up with. I also think I'm really cool, but whatever. I'm not going to do the dating apps or any of that. That's a hot mess right there. Men aren't patient. I'm sure there are patient men. I just haven't happened to have been married to one yet. I never thought I'd meet anyone on a dating app, but I actually met a really cool dude. Well, I'm happy that I'm happy you had that experience. I actually, when I was in Northern Virginia, I actually did meet a couple cool people, but they weren't the one guy that I hung out with a bunch was just not really available for anything long term, because he was moving away, and then I was planning to move away, and he was like finishing up school or something, and then he was going to move away, and then I decided to move away. But we had some really fun times. We would go to we both really liked beer, and we would go to breweries and these beer festivals, and he was really nice and sweet and always like insisted on paying for everything and driving, and was just really kind and patient, and he's a really good guy. He was sweet, but like I said, not really available. And I wasn't really available either, to be honest. I have no idea why I'm talking about this. I don't like the way I did that. I'm actually going to go down into this. Sometimes it's fun to meet new people. I say as someone who doesn't enjoy people. I hear you on that. I think I know myself. I like to sit at home and crochet. I purposely moved somewhere where I liked the location where I was, and I could just sit in my house and like look outside and be happy. And I gotta go, lunch break over, better go do some work. Alrighty, my friend. So I need to do things where I leave the house and meet people in real life, and I've started doing that more lately, and it's been really good for me. I've really met some nice people down here, and life is good. I like it. I made a couple friends. I made friends. It's hard to make friends when you're an adult. Making friends you can sit at home and crochet with is nice. Do you go to knitting and crochet groups? No, I haven't gone to any. They're really far away. I was actually thinking about getting a storefront here in Corolla and having my own little, my own little gathering place. And I have a wholesale account with Knitting Fever, so I could sell yarn. I just don't know if I want to work that hard. I also have a membership community where I have several, groups with different interests. I have like a craft and chat group, and I have a design workshop group, and I have a somatic crochet for mental health meeting once a month. So I have a lot of online things that I'm doing around, gathering around knitting and crochet. Knitting Fever is a yarn supplier that supplies, it's like a wholesale yarn supplier that supplies the yarn stores. So they're the ones that gave me the Noro. They, yeah. They're supposed to be making, well, not supposed to be, they are making up the 3 designs that I did for them as kits. Is that like your inspiration? Sort of. It's different though. It's most of the yarns that they carry are not like big box store yarns. They are yarns that you are more likely to find in like a little boutique yarn store. Like the Noro that they sent me, they sent me 6 balls of Noro Tsubami to make a blanket with. That yarn retails, 6 balls of Tsubami retails for $300. Yes, yes. I mean, I'll put my affiliate link in. That's my Outer Banks Crochet is my other account. But I just put my that's my Outer Banks Crochet commented with my affiliate link. Knitting Fever. Yarn Fever. Yeah. It's a cool name. That was quick. How about if I go this way with this one? And then I'll go the other way with this one. That'll be better than what I did last time. think I'll make myself a big bowl of oatmeal for a snack. When I get off of here. Oops. Well, that's weird. What happened? Okay, friends, I'll spread it all out for you, but I'm not going to be able to see the whole thing because it's too big. Let's measure it. 15 inches. So that means 30 across. So I'm about halfway there. Close to halfway there. Well, that's not good because this is day 3 and this is the halfway point. So I feel like I need an extra half day because one of my days I worked on this a little bit on the start and a little bit on this. So maybe I'll have to do a 7th day where I work a little bit on this and a little bit on that. Divide it up between the two blankets. Okay, where's my mark? Thank you. I'm really liking how it looks. Really enjoying this one. All right, my friends. I'm going to go make myself a snack and hit the sack. Thanks so much for hanging out tonight and for all the follows and gifts and shares and subs. I really appreciate it. And I'll probably see y'all sometime tomorrow. Mwah.